Kininvie 17-year-old batch 2. Is this worth grabbing? Stay tuned for the Whiskey Whistle. Greetings, my whiskey people. Mark here at Whiskey Whistle on YouTube, sharing a little whiskey awesomeness from Winnipeg, the center of North America, bringing you Kininvie 17-year-old. Now, I'm super excited to have this here for you. I opened that recently. This is my second bottle. I've got a batch 1, and this is batch 2. I opened that to share with a good friend of mine at the Winnipeg Whiskey Club, Colin. Hey, Colin. We're going to try this today and find out what it's like. We'll check out the smells, the tastes, and the finish, and then we'll give it a Whiskey Whistle whiskey score. All right, let's get that poured. Yes, I'm outside. It's a beautiful day today here in Winnipeg. Gorgeous, gorgeous weather. I think it got up to about 15 degrees. It's getting a little cool now, and I'm losing light, so we are in a bit of a time crunch. That's pretty good, about 20 milliliters. Have you tried any Kininvie? Of course, you may have tried Kininvie in a blend called Monkey Shoulder, because it's one of the 3 constituent malts in that blended malt. It's pretty rare to find it out in the wild, Kininvie, and it's hard to find it in North America. You may find it in the UK, you might find it in Asia, where they sell a lot of these at duty free. So hopefully you can find one. One place I know for sure where you can find this great whiskey is at Incheon duty free. I think that's Lotte duty free. So check that out there. First of all, we're going to check out the color of the whiskey. I believe it is natural in color. I believe that this is unchill filtered. And really interesting, before we get into that, so you got your regular label here. And then the really neat thing is if you look inside, you can also see more details on the back of the label about the yeast, the times, the temperature, the original gravity. So very, very cool to see that information for you to enjoy. Now, that's a small bottle. They sell these in 35 centiliter bottles, so half bottles. They go very, very fast, and it's about $100 US, $110 US, something like that. So a little bit on the pricey side. That would be, of course, $200 US for a full bottle. So as far as price is concerned, the value isn't great, but you're getting something that's very rare. What is Kininvie? Kininvie is a tiny little tiny still house that is located on the grounds of the Balvenie Distillery. Really unusual. They made that for, what was her name? Janet Sheed, I believe, one of the family members of William Grattan's sons. So they made that for her, and I think it was pretty influential for the brand as far as being able to do more of their own blends in-house, and then now to be able to offer some unique single malts. So the color of the whiskey, you can see that there, a rather golden hue. Quite pretty, isn't it? So let's have a look at the legs of this Kininvie 17. All right, let's see those legs. Fairly brisk first legs. This is 42.3. Let me see that. Yes, no, 42.6% ABV. And the secondary legs are, it's odd. It's a little bit almost on the oily side. It really sheets down the glass, interestingly. Well, we'll see what kind of a mouthfeel we get with that. Okay, let's check out the nose first of all. A big fruit basket with a little bit of florals. It's got some delicious light vanilla. Some elegant citrus like lemon candies. Orange slices, you know, the sugared ones. Maybe a hint of like a sweet ginger. All right, how about the palate? Cheers, everyone. Now, amazingly, when I first opened that, it really wasn't that, like, wow. I wasn't wowed. It just seemed rather, average, decent. Now, It's really, really developed very, very well. This has been open now for, I want to say, maybe about 3 or 4 months. I get some chewy toffees, orange toffees, apricot, big apricot. The finish especially is dominated by apricot. It's super fruity. It's super sweet. There's really not a lot of florals on the palate. Now this was made in 1996, and I believe this is 80% ex-bourbon and 20% ex-sherry. Janet Sheed Roberts, yes, granddaughter of William Grant. I think she passed away in the last, say, decade. Here we go. Special edition matured in American oak and sherry casks, giving it a unique finish. Oh, here it is. Okay, so it's on the packaging. 80% ex-bourbon and 20% ex-sherry. In fact, it says 80% American oak. So who knows whether that is ex-bourbon, virgin oak. All right. But back to that palate. The thing that I'm really noticing now is this real punchy toffee, like Macintosh toffee. If you're in Canada, I don't know if that's available in USA or the UK or Europe, but Macintosh toffee, you get a little hit of this Macintosh toffee. Then you get that orange coming through. Beautiful. Okay, let's add a little bit of water. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 drops. So that's about 1/3 of a milliliter. Now, I hope this review finds you safe and well and healthy. And I know the world has turned upside down with this coronavirus. I don't know, it's pretty scary. If we all take our parts in diligently social distancing ourselves from each other, I think we can get through it. Stay inside, avoid people. All right, let's check out the nose now with water added. And it really brings out that sort of milky toffee note that I loved in the palate. So I'm getting that in the nose here. Still very citrusy, still very sweet, with some vanillas, that little bit of ginger. The florals have all but dissipated. I could smell this all night, and it's just the right combination for me of American oak, ex-bourbon oak, I think, and the 20% sherry. Now, the palate with water. To your health, everybody. God bless. Everything is there, just a little bit ramped up, a little bit more of that apricot note, a little bit more of this toffee. Slightly milkier, if you get what I mean, creamier. And the finish is, let's call that a solid medium. In fact, it's actually pretty long. In fact, it's extremely long, especially the apricot, also the vanilla note. Subtle sweetness carrying through. Really, really well-made single malt from Speyside, from Kininvie. Well, let's get on to the Whiskey Whistle whiskey score then for Kininvie 17-year-old batch 2. What is that going to be, folks? It's going to be 90 out of 100. You heard it. 90 out of 100 is the Whiskey Whistle whiskey score for Kininvie 17-year-old batch 2, 42.6% ABV. Very, very interesting, and they've done some really cool things lately that you can see online. I think even Ralphie covered the Kininvie taste pack, which had some real interesting experiments, whiskey experiments in it. Delicious. And is it worth the $100? I think if you like Speyside and if you like ex-bourbon maturation, then yes, absolutely worth it. If you are an ex-bourbon fan like me, if you like Glenmorangie, if you like Glen Grant, if you like Deanston, then you're going to find that this will be a whiskey that you will like. And the vatting, the marriage of the sherry and the ex-bourbon is amazing. It really is very seamless in that regard. So really delicious. I'm so happy to finally have this review done, because I've had the batch 1, I guess now for, nearly 5 years. And then batch 2 now I got about a year ago. So it deserves a malt kiss and a malt hug. As the Canadian geese return from the south to all of the beautiful wetlands here in Manitoba. Welcome back. All right, everybody, hope you enjoyed that. Make sure you click over here to subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you're notified of the future Whiskey Whistles. Ding, ding. And jump in and support the channel on Patreon. Join the Whiskey Whistle crew. Patreon.com/Whiskey Whistle. Take care, everybody. Stay safe. Goodbye now.